The stereotypical thing is a victim turns into a bully.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, I'm not going to say your first name. I want you to introduce yourself. But, guys, welcome back to the third episode of Kay's Corner podcast. Today, we have a very special guest.
My name is Kai, and I'm 21 years old. I'm currently a senior in college, getting ready to graduate in May and pursue my registered nurse's degree.
Yes, that's exciting. So, guys, this is Kai. And Kai is the first guest, I'm so happy that he's the first guest because a lot of people are nervous to be on this podcast, which I totally get it. I mean, it was hard for me to even talk to a camera just like this by myself. So now I get to have somebody to talk to. So that's pretty cool. So Kai, you're going to nursing school, okay? Where at what point of your life did you become so confident in yourself and your decisions?
I can tell you for one thing, it did not come easy, but it wasn't up until recently that I sought out help at my wellness center at my school. Um, with a lot of personal issues going on, as well as a lot of social issues going on. I sought out help myself. I have a wonderful therapist who has helped build me to where I am today. And, you know, she really helped me put the world in a whole new perspective, that it's not all hate out there and that actually good does exist in this world.
Wow. So before you had this connection with this person at your school, um, how was your view on people or this world?
I saw the world with not a lot of color. You've heard the saying, black and white. It was either good or it was bad. I never saw any silver lining, never, uh, nothing in between. It was either good or bad. But for me, growing up, I grew up in a very hostile environment. I grew up in an environment of a lot of anger and
Mm.
hate. That's all I was accustomed to. And, you know, uh, for those of you who don't know, I have alopecia, which is basically an autoimmune disease that, um, due to stress, it makes my hair follicles fall out. Wouldn't say it was the greatest thing in the world to hear that, or even to even look myself in the mirror.
I can
And
only imagine.
yeah, yeah. I was diagnosed at 13 years old, and I was just not very comfortable, and it made it very easy for other people to pick on me, and make fun of the way that I look, call me all sorts of names, and kind of just drive my name right into the ground. And it was a lot, going through middle school, going through high school.
Yeah, those are the two like scariest guys, and I went through it. And before we get back onto you, I in school, was picked on for being Asian. So, I can only imagine when you're finding out at 13 years old that you're diagnosed with alopecia. And would you mind taking off your
Yeah,
hat?
and I'm so confident in doing so because I've been embraced by so many good people
Do you know
in my
that's
life.
why you're on my podcast?
Yeah.
Because I knew that you would make such a serious situation. Because, guys, on a very serious note, I know, we're about to laugh, and Kai's probably going to crack a joke any second now because I know he's waiting to. But at the same time, I wanted Kai to come on because people know him as like to be crazy or outgoing,
Yes.
and all these other things. But behind all of that is somebody who's very calm, collective, who has feelings, and he embraces himself. And I'm so happy you used that word,
Yeah.
confidence and embracing. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I wanted you to come on here, because you just embrace who you are and
Yeah.
you don't care what people think. And I feel like that's because for so long, you brought up seeing black and white. It was either good or it was really bad. And I can only imagine what it was like at 13 years old to to hear that. One, I can only imagine. And I'm over here crying that I got bullied for being Asian, but I can only imagine how people treated you. And let me ask you something. You had a friend group before you found out that you were diagnosed. How did that change? Did anything change as far as the friends that you had before you were diagnosed?
That's actually a very good question. So you made a point. A lot of people know me as very outgoing, and this is a true fact. I did not have a lot of friends growing up. I had my one best friend. Um, I can say with the utmost certainty when we grew up through elementary school together, went through middle school together, we went through high school together, and we're still best friends through it all. And he was the first person that I went to. I'm like, hey, I said, this is what the doctor diagnosed me with. He's like, that's so cool. They're like, and I'm
Aw.
like, cool. I'm like, dude, I'm like, look at me. He's like, whether, dude, he's like, whether you have hair or you don't have hair, he's like, you're still gonna be the same person. And I think from that moment forward, that was the greatest advice that I've ever gotten at that point. Obviously, I've met so many new people. Um, and it's funny, it's funny. Um, a lot of people see pictures with me with hair and then now without hair, and they're like, we actually like you with no hair because that's what a lot of people were accustomed to. But as far as friends go in that aspect, um, a lot of people turn their backs on me because I look different. Why? There are questions in this world that can be answered, but and there's also questions in this world that can't be answered.
So, not that I necessarily have an answer, but the whole point of this podcast is not to be such a strict, serious podcast. I do want to have light of every situation, but the topics that we talk about are very serious topics that are very diabolical to this generation. I've never heard bullying on a different level besides just up until recently. I mean, talking about how someone doesn't have a mom involved in their life, or that your family's broke. I mean, you're not wearing name brand clothing. I mean, these are things that degrade. These are things that people may have that strong face in front of people, but they go home and they rethink their whole life. And honestly, since we're on the bullying topic, this isn't about just us getting bullied. I was personally a really bad bully. I was a really bad bully. I had a very hard time at home as a kid and got bullied a lot at home. And this isn't I love all of my family, everyone who's in my life. I've grown to be a person where I forgive, and I just accept what has made me the person I am today. And that's why I wanted you here today, because I know that there's something that made you who you are today. I know that you, like I just said, we always put this face on that we're good and this and the third, but everybody has a feeling. But bullying to me, I was never scared to approach a bully. And maybe because I was a bully myself. But I mean, knowing to get bullied and then to be a bully, I ended up losing all my friends because I was more mean than they were. And that's pretty diabolical.
Yeah.
So after losing my friends and acknowledging that, although I was going through a lot, I was taking it out on people in such a horrible way. And I even know what that felt like. But that's why people say a lot that goes on at home has a lot to do with what maybe happens outside of home. So, with that being said, I spoke in front of the whole seventh and eighth grade. It was the most intimidating thing. I mean, like, the most intimidating thing I've ever done. You had these little faces laughing at you. I knew nothing better than look up in like the ceiling. It was the most nerve wracking thing. But it was me almost taking accountability for being a bully and also knowing what it feels like to be a bully.
Mm-hmm.
And after I stood in front of those group of children, I didn't want to set that example. I didn't want them to be like, oh yeah, that's the biggest bully in the school. Kaylee Capobianco.
Yeah.
Biggest
Yeah.
bully.
And that, walking out of high school, I could have chose to be very angry. I could have chose because of everything that's happened to me at home, on various sports teams that I was on, and then in the school setting. I could have chose to be very angry and lash out on everything.
Were you ever a bully?
No, a lot of people would have like, you know, the stereotypical thing is a victim turns into a bully, but that's not always the case. That's the case with me. I was a victim, but I turned to an advocate.
Mm.
That's what I turned into. I want to advocate for uh, teenagers who have been bullied, teenagers who have been abused by, either family members or, people in school or just people in general.
Right.
and also teens on suicide watch, because those three things hold a really close tie to me.
Do you think that the higher the higher generation, I feel like bullying in this generation is so bad. Do you feel like parenting has to do with bullying?
Yeah.
As far as even buying your child a phone, let alone no, let alone buying them a phone, but allowing them to have social media.
Ooh.
Like, do you believe that, or your friends, did you know anybody that you were friends with who like would bully? And that goes for gossiping, making fun of someone. Like, bullying is more than just picking on someone to the face. I mean, it's gossiping behind their back. It's making fun of them behind
Yeah.
their back.
Yeah. Bullying is just not one thing. Like you just said it. It's multiple
Do
different
you
things.
have friends, or did you ever have a friend?
That I No, not that I know of, because I try not to associate those people with those people, because you want people in your
That
life.
is the biggest thing. And I'm telling you right now, if I ask this question to another 50 people, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm friends with people right now who do nothing but gossip or make fun of, look at her, this, that, and the third. I was just in math class and this girl was making fun of someone with special needs. I didn't even look in her direction because, like, girl, we are not about to do this. But my point is that when you're surrounding yourself by people or friends and you feel like you're not that bully or you're not that mean person, but you're sitting there giggling with them, you're sitting there allowing them to gossip about another friend. Oh, look at her outfit, or oh my gosh, look at the acne on her face. I mean, it's the tiniest little comments that are just so degrading. And the biggest thing is people claiming not to be a bully, but then their whole
They still do it,
circle,
and you do it. That's the thing.
or they claim that they're the nicest people, but they don't even realize, people who claim that they're nice don't even realize the comments that come out of their mouth.
Have you ever heard of the term two-faced?
Yeah.
That I think that is what is the biggest problem with this generation. It's being two-faced and not being authentic.
Morals.
Morals. I feel like people in general just lost authenticity with themselves because they stoop to measures that I haven't even heard of to fit in, because that's what it's all about nowadays. It's just about a popularity contest. It's about fitting in and who has the nicest clothes, who has the nicest. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter how much you have. It doesn't matter how little you have. It's the fact that you get to wake up every single day and live a beautiful life, because not everybody gets to do that.
What, with that being said, what was your worst experience of bully?
Oh my god.
Top one.
Top.
And I'll share my top one, which is
Okay.
crazy to tell the social media because I got violated. But
Yeah. Um. So obviously, with having alopecia and having hair loss, uh they associated it with cancer. They thought it was cancer, and I had told millions of people that I'm like, guys, look, it's not cancer.
wait, you said millions of people?
Like in my school, because bad news.
Are you just as dramatic as I am?
A little bit?
Okay.
But with my school district, being so, I wouldn't say small, but like it's not that hard to point out a kid that has no hair, no eyelashes, no eyebrows, which is the way that I look. They put a GoFundMe on every wall, and I want to tell.
Was it to be nice though, or were they being jerks?
They were being jerks, and I have to say that GoFundMe raised over $50,000.
What?
Oh yeah, by the way, I did not get any of that money back.
Wait, so where did that money go?
I don't know.
They should be sued.
That kid should also be arrested.
What happened?
They put my face, they put St. Jude's together, but they substituted the baby's face for my face.
That is probably the most sickest thing. I mean, I want to laugh because it's like, who even thinks of that?
I'm telling you, this goes back to people stooping down to measures that I've never even heard of.
Guys,
that is
I'm
awful.
telling you right now, because this is going everywhere. I know that every type of age group can hear this. This goes to even the 50-year-olds that sit at a bar and talk garbage about the 20-something-year-old kid sitting in front of them. This goes for the 5-year-olds that have attitudes and think it's okay to literally think that every girl or guy in this world is diabolically mean, so you just choose to be like this. I'm telling you right now, it's not cute. You're not funny. It's the most immature and childish thing to do. And I'm telling you right now, as you guys get older, especially, less people will like you. And I'm very close with God, so I'm not judging. It's just simple facts. I mean, it'll be very hard to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It'll be very hard to find a group that's positive, that wants the best for you. You're going to end up surrounding yourself with people that are just diabolical for themselves and just rub that onto you. But holy crap, that's
Yeah.
insane. That's probably worse than mine. You want
Yeah.
to hear mine?
Sure. Go ahead.
What grade were you in?
10th grade.
10th grade.
And I do have to say, in addition to that story, that was days before that I was admitted into a psych ward for suicide watch.
Well, look at you now. You're just like this dude that just freaking is obsessed with himself. I love it.
Not just that. I'm just a dude that just loves to smile.
I'm just a guy in this world.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nah, you're great. You're lit.
Yeah.
Well, I was in 8th grade. And I am gonna call the Sachem squad out because this happened in the Sachem school district. But if I knew the severity of this at the time, I would have totally flipped one. But this is what I did. And this is so messed up, but you guys cannot judge me and I can't get canceled because
this is real authenticity, people.
Yeah, at the time I thought that this was just payback and it was pretty fair. But this black kid on the bus, he was just somebody who was just very mean. He was just very mean. I don't know why. People say, like, you know, some people are mean and bully each other because they like each other, which is so freaking weird. Like, don't do that. Don't do it. It's weird. I'm mean to you because I like you. Like, I'll just never get it. But yeah, so he came on the school bus one day and I was with my older brother. We were on the same bus. This kid opens up about like 10 soy sauce packets and
from the Chinese place?
them. Chinese place, Korean place. I'm Korean and Italian.
I'm Filipino, so
he chucks these soy sauce packets at us. We go to school in soy sauce. We didn't want to tell because, you know, it is a thing where you tell on someone, you tattletale, like the bullying process just gets worse. They get more people involved to the point where it's just like you say something, more of the grade's going to come after you. Like it's an army awaiting. It's pretty scary, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me.
So yeah, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to tattletale on you. I'm going to go lie to my mom and I'm going to do what you did to me, which I would never stoop down to this level ever again. I would just approach the bully. I told my mom. And again, guys, this is not who I am, but I felt so violated getting soy sauce packets thrown at me. So you know what I did? I'm Asian. So I told my mom we have a school classroom party or whatever. I need to bring something. I want to bring watermelon.
Love watermelon.
So my mom cuts up watermelon. I go back on the bus the next day, and me and my brother and other kids, because other kids were like, how is that even? You know, it's not just one race out here that gets discriminated. I mean, as an Asian kid,
Yeah.
I was so proud to even say my middle name, which I don't want to put my whole government on here, but like my middle name is in Korean and I was so proud of it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people who made fun of me for being Asian, like I hated it. My grandma would always try to share the culture and I'd be like, I hate it. Like I don't want to be Korean. I don't want to be Asian. I hate my eyes. And then like now that I'm grown, people are complimenting you. I'm sure you get a girl at the bar and she rubs your hair and she's like, ooh, you have like hair, but you're like bald, and I kind of like it.
Okay. Confession time. That wouldn't be the first time that a girl's ever done that to me.
Are you kidding me? I was actually joking.
No, I've actually had like I give myself haircut. First of all, haircuts. People with alopecia, I hope you're listening. They are free. They're free 99. You give them yourself. Yeah, like when I shave my head, like I try to keep. A lot of girls like, you rock the balls pretty damn well, Kai, and I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I've been rocking it.
No, it fits you. I'm telling you.
It does. It does.
Do you ever think about filling in your eyebrows? Because I think about filling in my eyebrows every day.
Hard pass. Because my mom was like, "Hey Kai, I'm gonna tattoo your eyebrows," and I'm like, "No, you're
Do
not."
you see my eyebrows? I barely have any.
It's fine. I have none. You're
Yo,
but I've actually had a girl on multiple parties that I've
I was
been
about to
to.
ask you, have you ever had a girlfriend?
3, but they ended miserably. But you know what? All 3 of them, uh, 2 of them, in their own rights, they are very beautiful souls, and they have a lot to offer to this world. And I know it didn't really work out, but that's okay. They taught me a lot of lessons about myself, what I want in a girl, and that's okay. And it's okay. I'm going to quote someone very, very influential in my life. Um, you have to find your lid to your pot.
Your lid to your pot.
Ever heard that one before?
No, not really.
So basically, you are the pot. Everybody has a lid that's going to fit your pot. And that takes time.
Well, you just showed like a characteristic of mine. I'm always choosing when I'm literally cooking in the kitchen, and I'm always using lids that just don't fit.
Exactly. And that works for that.
Do you think that explains my life?
Not really.
I'm kidding, because I've always
But,
picked a lid that just doesn't fit
yeah.
my pot.
But, that just, everybody has a fit somewhere.
What about your friends? Do you think that they can possibly be a lid to your pot?
You mean someone in my friend group?
Like, I just feel like a lot of people, it doesn't even have to be. I know that we were just talking about a girlfriend, but I also believe that it starts before you even find a woman or a man that you want for the rest of your life. I believe that it's how you perceive your parents, it's how you perceive your friends. The type of love that is around you is
Yeah.
the type of love that will be your forever love.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see I definitely do see someone. Actually, it's not in my friend group right here where I live. It's actually someone from another state.
I mean, I think that's better.
Yeah, you know, y-
So I feel like we got a little bit off topic, but to get much more back on topic, what have you learned through having alopecia? What have you learned through getting bullied? Are you proud of who you are today?
all great questions. I'll start with the alopecia first. What I've learned about alopecia is that looks do not define who you are. Simple as that.
Did
Looks,
you think at a point that your looks did define you?
absolutely. I consumed myself with the fact that I looked different at the time. It started as one little patch, and then went to 3 patches, and then it went to complete baldness, and then to the point where I actually had to get a dermatologist note to go to school with hats on. You want to know how many people have told me, "Hey Kai, take your hat off," and then I had to pull out that little pink slip in my pocket. And I'm like, "You see this right here? Yeah, I wear hats. Thank you."
Aw. That's like having tints on your car. Like you whip out you have bad eyesight. Yep,
Yep.
officer.
You see
Have a
this right
good
here?
one.
You see this right here? Yeah, I'm allowed to. And that's what I've learned about having alopecia. What I learned about bullying is it may not necessarily be with a problem with you, it's a problem with them. I learned I hated my bully, but senior year, 2 weeks before graduation, he came up to me. He's like, Kai, he's like, I apologize for everything that I did. He's like, I was going through like a really rough time in my life. I'm like, it's okay. I said, I said, we all go through hard times. I said, you probably heard about what happened to me. He's like, yeah. He's like, I did. And he's like, honestly, I feel really, really crappy about what I did to you. And I said, that's okay. I said, you taught me a value.
That's so real. That's so real. You want to know why? Because you never became a bully yourself. So he had nothing else but to sit back and look at the way he treated you. And that's crazy because I follow people that I went to elementary school with. I went to elementary school in South Carolina. And why I asked you questions like that before, because even in elementary school, like I was friends with the mean girls, but I wasn't a mean girl. So I was the one that was picked on in the group. I was the one that was put in that uh Uvu FaceTime call and was picked on. They wrote little letters. Oh, I hope Kaylee gets eaten by a pile of fiery ants. And at the time, like now I would laugh now. But at the time I'm a little girl and like eaten by a fiery pile of ants, like that's pretty
That's
demonic.
that's pretty dark, man.
But like it was hard for me because I was getting bullied at home and then getting bullied at school. And it was like I had nowhere or nothing. And I do get emotional. And that's why, maybe because you're a man, you're not. But like, I was so bullied in my life. I was bullied by my loved ones. I was bullied in school. Again, yes, I was a bully. But like you said, a lot of victims turn into the bully because that's all that they know. And that's why you're so inspirational because a lot of people can't choose to do the better thing. And that's the problem with this generation. People are so okay with just being such a people's pleaser and just being such a follower. And I think
Yep.
it's so dope that like you're a leader. You may be like crazy, dude. You're crazy.
Yeah. If textbook definition of crazy, look at Kai's cardio.
He's not lying.
I'm not lying. If you guys ever see me at the gym and you see me do cardio, yeah, you're like,
Yeah, I don't know
what the hell is this kid doing?
I don't know what he's. I don't know if you're prescribed something that makes you do like Superman cardio, but dude, there's some like big body back builders in the gym, and he can just like outrun them. It's pretty diabolical. You could probably be in the Olympics.
I wouldn't push it that far. Not yet.
Why not?
I was actually a swimmer, and my coaches, another very influential people in my life, my coaches and my parents, they said if I just pushed myself a little bit harder and just kept pace and I kept to myself and I kept at it, they're like, you could have been the next Michael Phelps. Quote from my mother, quote from my coach, who I still love to this day.
The mothers really matter what they say.
Yeah.
Always listen to your mother.
Because your mother is one half of the people that gave you life.
Quote from Kai, guys.
Yep. And
if you can give one piece of advice to bullies, what would it be? Be nice.
No. I am. Don't worry. Here's the advice that I got, and it can go reciprocal both ways to the victims and to the bullies. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to reach out to people, to counselors, guidance counselors, psychologists, therapists, whatever you need. There's always someone out there that wants to help. And you kind of have to leave what's being said in school or like wherever you're feeling hurt where it is, and just like don't let it just like drag you down, because it's gonna feel like someone's gonna throw a 200-pound dumbbell on your back, and you're gonna stay down there. But it's your prerogative and it's your choice to lift that 200-pound dumbbell of emotional baggage that you're carrying and move and get up and move on, or just let it just keep piling on and piling on.
And what would be one piece of advice you'd give to somebody who's being bullied currently?
To someone out there that's being bullied, it's temporary. Your feelings are temporary. The situation is temporary. And that's a reason why I decided to go into a helping profession field, because that's why I'm majoring in psychology right now, because I can't take seeing another 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old taking their own lives because of what? Because of bullying. That's been on the rise for the last couple of years. And whenever I see that on the news or in the newspaper that's happening, it brings me back to a time.
I mean, I just saw something on social media today. I don't know if you saw it. What's the time really quick? My bad.
2:42.
I don't know if you saw this, but this 11-year-old girl just took her life in Texas because kids were literally telling her that ICE is going to come get your family. ICE is going to come get your family. So she took her life because she said that they were telling her that she'd be left here and she'd be left all alone. I mean, something like that should be counted as homicide. I mean, I don't think it's stressed enough. And the worst thing is a kid even being scared to bring it up to a teacher because I believe teachers and schools aren't doing enough about it. Like back in the day, if you were to even say something on social media about someone, or not even specifically about someone, like you're suspended. You're suspended. You're in trouble. You're suspended. But these kids are way too comfortable. And the most sick part is I believe it's from the parents.
Yep.
And I believe, again, I work in a big environment. I deal with a lot of people. All of my life, I've dealt with a lot of different types of people. I'm telling you, all you grown folks that claim that you're grown, that you're a great asset for your children's life, really think about what you say in front of your children. Really think about how you act in front of your children, how you treat your children. Because just know when they're not at home, they may be respecting you, they may be walking on eggshells, or they may be able to say whatever they want to say. But in the reality is spectrum, once you go into a public space, public meaning even on social media, you need to be considerate of other people's feelings. You have no idea. Even the bully, maybe him or her are getting abused at home. That's what happened to me. I
Hmm.
mean, my childhood was that severe that I literally went to school and took it out on people because I knew that I would not get away with taking it out at home.
Hmm.
So that was I didn't have a therapist. I didn't really have good friends that like condoned me to be nice. They condoned me to be mean.
Yeah.
So my biggest advice to bullies, again, it's just not cute. It's not therapeutic for you guys. I know it didn't make me feel better because you guys are going back to the same situation. Whatever is making you that person, just just keep to yourself until you can get better. Just like it's temporary for the person that's getting bullied, being a bully is pretty temporary too. Unless that's just who you are for the rest of your life and I promise you will live a miserable life. Like just you'll live a very hard life.
Yeah. And what's fitting for this topic is I actually ran into a quote the other day. What does FRER spell?
Hold on. F R
No, FEAR. What does that spell?
fear.
It spells fear. Fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And that, to me, is what I feel like it's going to be ingrained in my blood. You can either choose to do one or two things in every situation, whether it's good or it's bad. Let's take bullying experience for example. You can you can forget about everything and you can run, or you're going to saddle up, you're going to pony up, and you're going to face that situation head on.
Mhm.
And when I guarantee you, and I'm speaking to the people that are being bullied, if you face every situation with a can do attitude, you can achieve absolutely anything. Look at me. I have been just like I've been abused, I've been bullied, I was admitted into a psych ward for suicide attempts, in and out of therapy my entire life, in and off of medications my entire life. Have faced adversity my entire life, but I chose to face everything and rise.
Right?
And look where I am now. I am T minus 3 months away from graduating. Let
That's
that
so lit.
let that sink in, not just for me, not just for you, but everybody that's watching. Let that sink in for a second.
No, seriously, guys, and that's very special what you just shared. It's so true. If you are a bully, I sincerely pray that you guys find your peace. Whatever you guys are going through, just know that you don't deserve that. Just like what you're doing to other people, they don't deserve that. I don't know if someone's convincing you guys that you deserve every bad thing that comes your way. It's not true. Your future can be so bright, so kind. You can fill your presence with such great people if you just choose to be kind. For the little girls in middle school and high school, it's not even the guys that really bully. Guys are just guys. It doesn't make them okay, and they do bully. But a lot of the females, you guys are very evil. I mean, Lord, I pray for them. I
Same
didn't want
here.
to say evil, but just like it's just so nasty and so horrible. And like it goes back to history, just like women's rights. And it's just like all women came together to like just bring what they knew that they were worth. And nowadays, it's like other females or males like make each other feel like you're just like worthless. And it's just so crazy to me because especially females to females, girl code, guy code, like we were supposed to be friends in the club, in the
Cohesive.
club.
In the club.
You gotta finish it in the club.
Oh my god, is it funny that I don't know what that means?
We all fam. What are you, racist?
No,
No, I'm kidding. That's just
no. But like,
I'm just kidding.
just simply just don't bully. Kaylee said it so many times. It's not cute. It's not gonna change your popularity status. Actually, it's gonna make your popularity status worse because the real ones, and I mean the real ones who have been on that roller coaster day in and day out, just like the friends I have now and my best friend that I've had since childhood. They have been on my roller coaster of my life. Because that's what it is.
People also told me that growing up, you only need one or two people. I'm like, no, I need like a whole group. I need to be cool. Like, guys, I'm telling you right now, I wanted to be so cool. I wanted to be so cool. I wanted to fit in with all the cool people. So
Thank
I ended
you.
up becoming a bully, losing my friends because of it, got bullied before that. So it's just like coming from a bully and someone who got bullied, either way, like I said, it's temporary, but I've learned so much. And like, I find bullying just so disgusting. It's such a turnoff when people gossip about other people around me or just like, just say horrible things about people. It's like literally the biggest ick in this whole entire world. And if I look at it that way, I promise you, anybody who's a good, nice person will look at you that way. And anybody who encourages you to make fun of or gossip, you should probably really rethink your whole entire life, rethink your whole entire circle, and probably sit by yourself for a very long time until you know what it's like to be a nice person and not be influenced by those around you. I'm telling you right now, if it's so easy for you to be influenced by the people around you, to be pressured by the other people around you, you need a reality check and you should probably go on a very long hike until you find those answers.
Hey,
Because
if you want a really long hike, go to Mount Everest.
and just don't come back if you're a bully. If you're a bully, just don't come back.
Or if you want a safer option, just tour every wonder of the world. Long plane ride across the country. Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. So, guys, with that being said, just learn how to be kind to others. You never know what someone's going through, even your bully. I'm not saying don't stick up for yourself, but learn to just, instead of saying, why are they like that? Honestly, I wish you the best, dude, because something was just really going on with you, and I really wish you the best, but I'm not going to let you affect me. So just always be kind to others. You have no idea what someone's going through. Keep your comments to yourself. Even in a friend group, if you guys think that like how you guys communicate and associate is by talking complete garbage and making fun of your whole entire friend group from head to toe, then I think that's pretty immature, and I think people our age still do that. But
Yep.
I
Yes, they
just
do.
think it's weird, and I think it's immature, and I'm not judging, but I did it, and I found myself weird for that. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
would never bully someone again in my life. I just find it so weird and obnoxious and rude, and I just pray that everybody in this world can finally come together because bullying.
Be empathetic.
Say it again.
Be empathetic. That is something that I've never been told in my life, but it's just something that I've learned. Be able to relate to people. Put yourselves in their shoes. If you're, case in point, like Kaylee just said, if you're the one that is influenced becoming a bully, put yourselves in the shoes of a bully victim like myself. How does it feel? How did they feel when they got knocked off their pedestal?
And I'm not gonna lie, when I bullied, I'd go home and be like, damn, I was really mean to that girl.
So
Like I felt like garbage after
it was regret and guilt setting in.
Yeah, like I never was like, yeah, I made her feel like shit. It was like, damn, like I should have never said that.
Yep.
Damn, like this person made me feel like garbage today, and it made me like treat this person like garbage. Like,
Yeah.
So I always felt guilty because it was never a good feeling. Like it was never therapeutic to me, and that's why I feel like for those who think it's like a coping skill to you, I know it's not therapeutic. I
Nope.
know, and if it doesn't make you feel like garbage, like you're to a point in your life where you probably have hatred, and like I've been there, and like just know, like Kai said, like it's okay to not be okay, and if you're not okay, don't let other people not be okay. Like figure it out and ask people for help. Look around. If you feel like, because at an age, I felt like I had nobody. Felt like I had nobody.
Yep.
But then you have people like Kai, and he's cool. Cool people.
And the right, if you're just if and another piece of advice is just be yourself, be authentic, and the right people will deviate towards you. And I got a great group of people by my side besides my parents, and it's my parents I got to thank. A lot of who I am today. My best friend, I got to thank him. You know, it's so many people that I have to just thank for just allowing me, to just be confident. And it's just, and right now it goes to the people in my college who just allow me just to be me, and they see past my flaws. So,
Yeah,
a bunch of
that's freaking
inspirations.
awesome. And I want to say one more thing. To all the women out here who are insecure, I know it's more of a woman thing, but even to the men, um, a lot of people like are so worried about like their body. Are they skinny enough? Are they too fat? Like, and I'm really gonna say this. Like, I'm not gonna like I'm really gonna be so for real right now. If I got diagnosed with alopecia, like I don't.
I would love you even more because the ladies out there with alopecia, I swear to God, you're just as beautiful as the guys with alopecia. I swear to God.
Aw.
Have you guys not? If you guys have a chance, look up a girl who has alopecia. I swear to God.
Okay.
That's everybody's challenge.
All right. Everyone's challenged. Go look up a person with a woman with alopecia. But my point is like I'm always complaining like guys. I just don't have eyebrows on fleek type of eyebrows, okay? And I'm always complaining. If you know me, I'm always complaining about how my eyebrows look. But on a serious note, it's like, who am I to complain? Like, as I'm sitting next to somebody that just has straight confidence with like what he's diagnosed with and how he is and who he is, it just like makes me sit back and like, I like my eyebrows. I got some.
Oh,
But then it
jeez.
also makes me feel if I didn't have eyebrows, you kind of would give me that swag, cool confidence, I feel like.
Exactly. There's also alternatives.
So with that being said, guys, be nice to yourselves, be nice to others. First handed from two people who have been bullied before, a person who was a bully. It's not cute, it's not funny, it's degrading. It's not only degrading to the people who you're trying to degrade, it's degrading to yourself. It will affect you in the long run with friendships, relationships, family members. And someone like Kai, he does jump around, with all this energy and love and confidence, but also he's somebody who's really been through it. And so never judge a book by its cover and just always be so real. Just always be so real with yourself and keep your comments to yourself. If you have nothing nice to say, and I will say this in such a serious tone, just don't say it at all. This is counting for everybody in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, 50s, 60s. If you guys have nothing nice to say, learn to keep your comments to yourself. Basic human communication skills. And if you don't know basic human communication skills, come to school with me.
Or come to school with me and sit in my interpersonal communications class where you will get taught.
Mm-hmm. Kai, thank you for being the first guest.
Anytime. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Guys, Kai's info for his Instagram will also be linked down below. Please subscribe, comment down below what you guys thought about this, other topics that you would like to talk about. Thank you guys for kicking it in Kay's Corner, episode 3 with Kai.
And my knuckles just cracked.
All right, guys, till next time.